Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining from. My name is Toyin Umesiri. I'm the founder and CEO of Nazaru and the Trade with Africa Business Summit. I run different platforms. I host different events, different programs. So if this is your first time of joining, you're welcome. You can call me Coach Toyin because I do play that role as well. I teach entrepreneurship and international trade. So welcome to my space. Today, I want to talk about why you need a strategy. In fact, you always need a strategy. So I find out that every time I say something like, okay, I used to serve as a strategist to executives at the world's largest company, Walmart, right? People don't really understand what that means, but I get it. There's another joke around strategy. I say, strategy is everything and strategy is nothing. What it means is there are times when people say I'm a strategist and you're like, what does that mean? It's like nothing. It means nothing. But then there are times when you say I'm a strategist and people go, whoa, okay, tell us more. So it just depends. Just like you say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The same thing is true of strategy, right? Like the beholder understands what that means to them. So for me, I always say something like, depending on who I'm speaking with, the value or the perceived value of the work that I do is different. Beauty of my work is in the eye of the beholder. Those who know. Those who recognize the value of what I do, they know. And most people, they're like, what? I don't even understand what he's saying. I get it. Okay. I hope you watched yesterday. I did a portfolio review yesterday, and I broke down the four areas that you find me speaking on: economic development, international trade, entrepreneurship and retail, and leadership. So I bundle entrepreneurship and retail into one bucket because entrepreneurship could be around product distribution or service delivery. Okay. So retail is just channels, right? It's a channel of delivering physical products, right? And when you have services, the way you channel and distribute that could be different. So it's service delivery. Anyway, so yes, welcome to today. I'm talking about why you need strategy. Okay, Kabalaji says to me, strategy is everything. Thank you. That's one of our team members. Yes, when you hang around me, you pick these things up. She said, even if trying to clean up my home, I love it. I love it. Yes, you always need a strategy. Okay, let me break this down. I want to welcome those on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. This for me is a strategy. I go live once and boom, I'm everywhere. It's a strategy. I had to try everything first. So, okay, let's get right to it. The way I'll describe strategy, okay, it's your chosen path, right? Where you've already decided, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. And for me to accomplish it, what is the minimal effort that I can put towards it to get the maximum result? What's the least thing I need to do to get it's optimization at the end of the day. It's like that's what your GPS is always doing, right? When you plug in, I'm going to this, California. I'm here in Chicago. I'm going to California. You plug the destination into your GPS. There are different routes. There are always multiple routes to get you to California from Chicago. Your GPS knows that. But what your GPS is always calculating, that's the strategy, is like, what is the most optimized route that I'm going to take that will get me there faster? And then, there are always options on the GPS, avoid the highway, right? Shortest distance, fastest time. Strategy is when you make those decisions as well. Without strategy, you'll be doing everything, you just be all over the place, right? The platforms will tell you be on social media 24 hours. Even let me tell you, if you spend the rest of your life on social media, nothing happens unless you have a strategy. So I'm trying to break it down. So yesterday I talked about top down, bottom up. Today I'm doing bottom up, right? Because at a very, very high level, sometimes people don't understand. So I'm trying to start it from a very, very small level. Like, okay, you're going to California. Your GPS, you say, this is my destination. Your GPS would do that calculation for you. Don't, right? Based on the options, fastest distance, shortest distance, fastest route, avoid highway, avoid toll, I'm just sightseeing. You give it, you tell your GPS what your criteria is, and your deep GPS will say, boom, these are your options. Choose. And then you choose, and then you go on your journey. That's strategy. But for you to build strategy very well, you always need to load up on knowledge. This is when people miss it. Strategy can only be built on knowledge on the destinations, on the options. Most times, people don't have options, they only have one path that people have told them. So they have no option. So they're just going to do what everybody tells them to do. But when you know, the more you know, this is why I'm always pushing for knowledge. If you've heard me before, I'm always pushing people. The knowledge doesn't hurt you. The more you know, the better. Like, go out there, be hungry for knowledge, read books, attend my classes, more and more knowledge, right? Why? The more knowledge you have will give you alternative routes. And then you can then decide optimized path. But when you don't have knowledge, nothing. The other option or example, I always use analogy so that people understand what I'm trying to convey. It's like a medical doctor. The reason you go and see a medical doctor is because they embody a type of knowledge. They know the anatomy of the human body. They also have a knowledge of disease. I don't know how those people do it, but how they can sleep with all that knowledge in their mind of diseases, of what could be and what, right? So they embody a type of knowledge. And when you come in with a symptom, they will ask you certain questions, right? And based on that, guess what? Their mind, their brain, their knowledge is calculating what is the dosage, what's the most optimized, prescription to address this issue, right? If somebody else comes in with other symptoms, what they would prescribe would be different. Another person comes in with another these symptoms is different. In fact, even the same prescription, depending on the person's weight, the dosage will be different. If you're 15 pounds, use this. 100 pounds, use this. 200 pounds, use that. Because it's always not this, the same answer doesn't always work for the same people. That's the same thing with strategy, marketing strategy, sales strategy, right? Distribution strategy, technology strategy. The reason they use the word strategy is because we're trying to accomplish something. We want to design what is the most optimized path for us, for me. So what's good for me may not be good for you. Let me give you another example. I always give example. I have a lot of stories to tell. Social media. In fact, not just any social media, Instagram. Let's pick marketing strategy. Okay, Instagram. Everybody tells you. So depending on what you're looking for on social media or Instagram, let's just be specific. I want to be as specific as possible because we different platforms behave differently, right? We all know Instagram, right? Okay. If your goal on Instagram is to attract, say, brand to give you nice looking clothes to wear, or you want to market, you want to be a brand ambassador for ABCD. If that's your goal, the strategy you're going to implement will look different. You're going to go hire a photographer. You're going to look this way, look that way, look that way. You're going to show us what you've got because you're trying to attract something. Now, that's your goal, and you're implementing strategies to support what you're looking to attract. If, on the other hand, right? So no judgment. I have lipstick. I sell lipstick. If I'm trying to sell lipstick, I know what I'll do to you guys. Okay. I have my own skincare and lipstick brand. That's not what we're talking about today. My point is, you're on Instagram, you're deploying a marketing strategy. It's a platform that allows you to reach certain people. You're trying to connect with brand and you want to become a brand ambassador for Gucci, whatever. I love nice things. So I get it. Okay. But I'm saying your strategy must align. Now, if your goal is to become a thought leader, listen to me, and you're on Instagram, you need to build a strategy that allows us to see the nakedness of your mind. Show us your mind. Show us how you think. Show us what you know. Right? If your goal is to be perceived as a thought leader in your sector, in your space, then strip. Okay. Is that too much, guys? Is it too much? Then we want to see what you know, because that's your goal. The strategy you have to deploy would be different. Should be different. Or maybe, am I wrong, guys? Please tell me. Fix me up if I'm missing something. It's because what you're going to attract, right? What you're going to attract to yourself, the strategy you deploy will drive what you're attracting to yourself, the opportunities you attract to yourself. So my point is, make sure you have a strategy. You understand, first of all, understand your destination. Know what you're, be clear. In my the game plan, 12 strategies for winning, the number one is clarity. You know, don't be out here telling us something else. Meanwhile, what you are actually wanting is not aligned. Make sure you align your inside, your goals with how you're showing up. That's the best way to attract what it is you want in life. Clarity. Clear all those things. But I find people who tell me they want something, but their behavior and how they're showing up, it doesn't match. You want to be perceived as a thought leader, yet you're doing all those. That works for certain people because what they're looking for is ABCD. So their brand positioning is they want to be seen a certain way. Yet you're saying you want to be perceived as a thought leader. How does that connect? What you need to be expressing and showcasing on platforms is your thoughts, your ideas, how you see the world, how you perceive the world, the solution you're bringing. Find ways to display that, right? The people that are doing other things, like I said, when I'm selling lipstick, you will see me, I get it. But I'm just trying to make a distinction to say, do you have a strategy? Because the strategy is what you determine what you attract to yourself. You have yourself to blame. We have ourselves to blame. Right? So if what you're attracting doesn't look like what you want, go back to the drawing board. Don't keep, you can't keep repeating the same path, right? If you keep doing the same thing, you still get the same results. Life is like that. My first degree is mathematics, 2 plus 2. If you want that thing to be different, change the equation. Right? And in order for you to do your strategy, to develop a winning strategy, whether it's marketing strategy, technologies, you need a strategy for life, period. Time management, all of those things. Knowledge. You need a knowledge of alternative options, alternative routes. When you don't have options, when you don't have when you don't have a knowledge of options and alternative routes, you're locked into doing everything everybody's telling you to do. That's what usually happens. It's like, oh, spend 24 hours, dance reels, this. You're just all over the place because in the first place, you need to be asking yourself, by doing that, does it get me closer to the people I'm supposed to be getting closer to? Is it going to get me the results I want? Does it make me seen in the light by the people that I want to be seen as? Is it getting me closer to that positioning? It's a decision. It's all a strategy. It's all a strategy. And what I find is that people that haven't done this, there's a lot of frustration baked into and burnout baked into, well, I'm doing it. I'm here. I'm this. I hear that a lot. I'm doing it. I'm doing this. But the results, it's because, one, where are you going? Because if you're going to California versus if you're going to Texas, the roadmap should be different. Your results depending. So what I try to do, what I do in my classes is I teach people how to fish, right? I teach people how to design their own strategy for themselves versus, oh, do as I do. No, you don't know you don't know my game. That's why I call it the game plan. I'll teach you, I'll give you your own strategy so that you can design your own game plan. Because my own game plan, like yesterday, I showed you my portfolio, right? Top down, bottom up. If you don't have the capacity, don't try it. So for me, what I try to do is equip people with the skills that will help them design their own game plan, right? I'll teach you You need communication. You need this. I'll tell you what those things are. I'll show you options. And then I'll also tell you how to design something specific to you. It's like at the end of the day, it's like losing weight. I use all this analogy so that people can resonate, can really connect with my message. Is that you want to lose weight, we know what it takes. Eat less, exercise more, sleep more, drink lots of water. Isn't that the equation? Now, the recipe, the mix that is ideal for you is different from the mix that will do the result for me. In fact, you and I, depending on metabolism, you can be eating the same thing that I'm eating, and the results and outcome. That's what I mean by strategy. Is that the outcomes will be, maybe the desired outcomes may be the same, but the strategy may look different. Why? Because your metabolic rate or your capacity level or your skill set or your background or your communication style or even your personality may not fit in to what people are telling you to do. Right? So that's why for me, when I'm doing one-on-one coaching, my first session, the first session I do is always based on mindset and personality assessment. Because I'm not going to go ask you to do something that is seriously against that I don't do that. Right? Because even for me, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to do anything that is not aligned. That's not aligned. That is not incongruent. Is that not the English? Like within my soul, I'm not doing that thing. No, no. It's not. It's not. It's not that. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not that. What do they call it? It's not that serious. No, no. It's not that serious, right? So for me, I lead from that place. I lead from a place of comfort, alignment within myself, so that when I show up, I'm showing up as me. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. Really, at the end of the day, what you see is what you get. But meanwhile, out here in the public, people are like, oh, this is what is going to work. That's what is going to work. Keep trying. Keep at it, people. So you need a strategy based on what you're trying to achieve. And in order to build a winning strategy, you need to have knowledge of alternative routes, right? Based on the knowledge of options available within that space, you can now optimize it. Now, what you find me do, I test different routes. I test different platforms. You see me testing Clubhouse. You see me, I've tested, last year I tested, no, not even last year, 2 years ago, I tested TikTok. I'll test Twitter. I'll test it all. Anything new, metaverse, I'll be there. You see me, I'll test it out. Why? Knowledge. I don't want somebody telling me I have to do ABC to get desired result. No, I'll test it. I'll learn it. And then I'll make up my mind. Like right now, making up my mind with Clubhouse. I've spent months there testing, connecting, doing all those things. And based on it, I would build my strategy. People keep asking me, Tony, when are you going to do this? I'm like, I'm still out. I'm still out to make up my mind on Clubhouse. I'm waiting for LinkedIn audio. I want to compare those two. When I do my comparison, then I will make up my mind. Then you hear me. That's what I mean, strategy. I'm not just going, oh, it doesn't work that way for me. I'll test it. I'll test it really well. Remember, I have a technology background. I used to be a programmer. So I'm putting my business out there. I used to code. So I understand technology, right? So I would try anything new in the digital world. I will try it, because never pass judgment until you've tried something. Right? A lot of times people don't test enough. Oh, I'll say LinkedIn. People say, no, LinkedIn. Oh, sorry. Don't. Have you said it? Have you tried it? Have you explored it? Before you pass on judgment, at least test. Give it a try. That's you can't build a strategy if you haven't tested alternative options, right? Because your strategy is then, given that this platform, Facebook, behaves this way. I'm just giving an example of, say, marketing, on digital marketing, right? This applies across all other topics, right? Facebook behaves this way, this behaves this way. Test it out, play with it, right? It's back to being a kid in a candy store or in a sandbox. In programming, we used to talk about sandbox. Test it out, play around with it, get familiar with those things. And then based on what you're experiencing or what you read about, then you can then say, okay, based on what it is I want to achieve or who I want to attract or the message I'm trying to deliver, what is the most optimized platform for me to be showing up at? Right? You go through that within yourself. Do that with for yourself. Nobody's going to do this for you. All the platform is like a marketplace. Everybody's calling us. Content creators, we are the producers of this digital economy. So you can bet, the story, the word on the street is be everywhere because they want us to be everywhere. I get it. Be here, be here, be here, be here. I get it. My point is why you need a strategy is you are a limited resource. Your energy, your time is a limited resource. Strategy is what is the least effort you're going to put in to get the maximum result for what it is you're trying to achieve and the message you're trying to deliver. That's all. That's all I'm saying today. That is all. It's that simple, people. So for me, after years of all again tests, so as example, this is a strategy. I've only been here for 21 minutes, but guess what? I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. In fact, on Facebook, I'm on three destinations: my private page and two public pages, my company and my personal page, Coach Toy. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. So when I'm done with this, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done for the day. Okay. Okay. Kabalaji says you're authentic and that resonates. Thank you. That's all I preach. That's what I teach. How to be yourself, because the only way you can be showing up consistently, okay, this is the secret. You can't fake anything for a long time. Some people have followed me for 5 years. Even when I was in corporate, I used to be on LinkedIn. I'll post certain things, inspirational stuff when I was in corporate years ago. And I remember there was a day my VP, my senior vice president, saw me in the hallway. I was like, Tony, I saw you on LinkedIn. I was like, wink, wink, right? I was putting things out there. My leaders and SVP, they were seeing my thoughts because that's who I am. I'm just that person, right? So even because for me, what I would not allow is for anybody to dictate who I should be or anything like that, like to mute me. No. No. And a lot of people in corporate, they are facing that thing right now. I see your struggle, people. Right? The reason you avoid LinkedIn is you don't want your employer to see. There's still the truth now. Let's say it as it is. Let's own it. Clarity. Let's own what's going on within us. So even for me, I remember, I'm just putting my stuff out here. Okay. I remember when I was in corporate as well, I used to go and even give speech, right? I would use my vacation time. So I just switch on you. But this is again back to why you need a strategy. So even in corporate, you need a strategy, right? For how you're showing up. So I remember that I used to they employed me to do a certain job. So I'm doing my job, but I also had my own, stuff going on, right? Like in terms of my community. The moment I started exploring Africa trade, international trade, I needed to venture. I needed to also connect with the community outside of my corporate. And so many people, this could be true for you. You feel, oh, this, I don't want them. No, 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 no. I did not. I'm open. In fact, I used to have conversations at VP level, CIO level, like, this is me, this is who I am. You are paying me to do this job. I'm doing my job well. But guess what? I have passion for this. I have passion for that. I remember taking on a leadership role for women. I was talking to one of my mentors by that time, and I was like, hey, this is a triangle. This is towing. I drew a triangle, and I at the apex of the points of the 3 points of the triangle, I said, towing is key on technology. I get it, and that's what you're paying me for. But she's passionate about women initiatives and Africa. What job in this Walmart can I go pursue that will bring all these 3 things for me? Because I'm not giving one for the other. Right. That was the conversation I had. Right. I had that conversation, was like, Tony cares about technology. I already have a job on that. So that's I went to school for that. But she cares about Africa and women. And I remember even, oh my gosh, I'm putting stuff. I don't know who needs to hear this, right? I remember even going to one of my SVPs and saying, okay, move me to Africa. And he was like, okay, he took a piece of paper. These are the conversations people don't want to have. I had all those conversations. Clarity, know what you want and go for it. Don't Nobody will give you what you want. Okay. And I remember my SVP. Thank you if you're watching. I won't mention your name, but thank you. I really appreciate your trust and helping me find my way in life. And you remember he took a pen. I said, Toy, I hear you. Okay, you want to do A, B, C, D. These are your options. This is why I say strategy. Option one, you go. We move you, expatriates. You still have a seat here in the US. We can bring you back. Option two, you go on your own. We move you to South Africa, you go, and we don't keep your seats. Option three, this, or you change from my organization to another organization. These are your options. I remember keeping that piece of paper. I'm just saying, you always want alternative option, because when you don't explore options in life, you're locked in. What you get is what you get. What you get is what you get. So I'm back to the topic of the day: why you need a strategy. What do you want? Where are you going? Right? Professional growth, professional development, entrepreneurship, right? Growing your business, acquiring more customers, more clients. I get it. I get it. We all want something. My point is, like my program, the first thing is seek clarity. See clearly in your mind first before you show up out here to be doing the dancing and all of those things, to be showing up here. For me to say, Coach, call me Coach Tony, is because within myself first, I had to seek clarity, seek alignment, so that you can then get direction. Direction, right? Because if you don't know where you're going, any direction will walk. Oh. Right? If you don't know that you're going to California, if I give you the roadmap to Texas, you will end up in Texas. And that's not your desired result. Right? Right? If you want to attract brand, if you want to become a brand influencer, this, that. I come from the world of retail. That world is abundant. We always want to sell you stuff, lipstick, everything is sellable. We always want people that can dress, you know, tout our products. My lips, I will get that. I own brands as well. So I get it. No judgment. My point is, if that's not your desired result, you have no business doing that stuff. Is that to ash people? See, that's why I save these things for my members. I talk truths. Truth is kind of straight. I shoot straight. That way you don't say, "Oh, was this what Tony was trying to say?" Oh, I didn't. No, when I speak, you know what I'm trying to say. I will speak clearly. I will speak clearly. I speak very, very clearly. Right? Clearly. I speak clearly so that you don't assume. I don't never assume. So I speak very clearly. When I teach clearly, because I'm trying to pass on something specific. So I always want people to walk away with clearly understanding, to say, Tony said A. Not saying, oh, did Tony want to say Z? No, 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 no. I wasn't saying Z. I said A. A with, and I'll draw it for you. So I speak clearly. Kobalaji says clarity helps you to say no. Yes, as well as yes. Sister, please tell them. Just had that conversation with someone. An attractive offer to most just came to be, but it's not aligned to my desired results. Yeah. It's a tough one. I think that responsibility is maybe what people avoid, right? That, because when you seek clarity and you've already identified where you're going and who you're becoming or what you're going after, in a way, you have to then say no to all the other options, right? By saying yes to California, you just said no to Texas, Idaho. You just said no to all the other things you could be doing, right? I put a post out there to say, while you can do anything, we all can do anything, right? Don't do everything. While we all can do everything, don't do everything. Why? You're committing resources, time, and energy to everything. And that means you're not actually laser focused. That's what you call laser focus. Once you have clarity and you have alignment, then part of it is being laser focused on your goal. Like, give that thing your all. Give California your best. Get in the car and be aligned in one direction. But that responsibility, I think, is what people are avoiding, because there are all kinds of alternative routes still flashing. TikTok, this, that. You could be here, you could be there, you could be on Clubhouse, you could be this, you could be that. I get it. And then you're dividing your energy, dispersed, and then you don't get any. At the end of this, like what they call wild goose chase. If you don't set your eye on that one target and you're chasing 50 targets, are you going to end up with what are you going to end up with? Is it zero? I don't know. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. You let go of one path, you're chasing 100, and then that 100 eludes you. I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up right there. You always need a strategy. And what I teach, really, at the end of the day, is mindset. The mindset that will allow you to design your own strategy. I also impart knowledge. Remember, I shared at the beginning, knowledge is power. Knowledge is your power. It will power a different type of life. You're going to show up differently when you're empowered. So seek knowledge. So when I say take my classes, come to my programs, it's knowledge. That's what you go to school for knowledge, and then you practice. And then the more knowledge you have about the alternative routes, you can better design a strategy for you. And this applies to all areas. So when you see me out here, 32 minutes later, I'm done. I'm done. I can now move on because I've tested all these routes, and I ain't doing all the things they tell people to do. I'm here. I speak clearly. I know who I'm speaking to. My sheep hear my voice. They hear. And then peace out. Peace out. I'm out of the metaverse. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Go check out the game plan this Saturday. I'm hosting the game plan 12, teaching 12 strategies for winning in business and life. You can read up the 12 modules of that class. Go to toyinumesiri.com/the game plan. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys later. God bless you and bye.